I hope y'all okay. All right, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. I am your girl, Molinda Jae. I'm sorry that I'm like probably too loud on this microphone, but I'm still trying to get used to it. But welcome back. Welcome back. I am your girl, Molinda Jae, and I'm here to talk about several topics that I have previously recorded literally probably Thursday evening. And yeah, I was not able to put it out for y'all to consume for Friday and the rest of this weekend. And due to I had to reorder a backup, another external drive to back up my files again. So I'm like, ugh. And then yeah, I had to reorder an external drive. So I had to wait on that so I can come to y'all with this content. Now I would go live, but yeah, I still gotta work around this schedule with my 9 to 5. Okay. Yeah, and I'm still on the road to 1K as well on both of my channels, my main channel and my spiritual channel. That way I can have some more access and perks to going live as well. So without further ado, the topics that I'll be discussing today, that will probably be chopped up to several videos, is Jamie Foxx's health condition. I did record on Drake Bell from Drake and Josh of him being missing, and then later found a couple hours later that day when he was reported missing. I also was talking about Shanquella Robinson and how the feds had literally just closed the case due to basically insufficient evidence. And however, I feel some type of way with that, and we're gonna get to the deets of that. I was also talking about Freaknik and how the aunties and uncles and possibly grandmas and grandpas out there are shaking in their boots and probably fearful for their lives at this time due to this documentary about to come out that is on Hulu. That will be on Hulu. Another thing I was talking about that I did a shorts on and would like to go further in detail about is the deletion of Bob Lee. Okay. And then I'm trying to figure out, there was something else. I was also talking about Prince Harry too, and how he just went on ahead and decided to go to the coronation without Meghan and the cheering, and how I think it's a scheme that King Charles set up to come with the BS on that one. And I also want to talk about the Tennessee congressman being reinstated. I didn't talk about that with the previous recordings that I did, but I also want to talk about the Tennessee congressmen that have been reinstated as well. And then Scotty by Nature, he had did a video about him not being happy far as being happy where he is at, and I want to provide some encouraging words for him with that. Of course, Wiley went live immediately after him going live, being transparent with his audience as well as other content creators, and I do have to give him a shout out about that. I definitely hold my regards and high respects for that. And then I also did a shorts about the football player Ancroft Hakimi's divorce, and how his wife, or soon to be ex-wife, is seeking for half of his fortune. And then also Montana being the first state to ban TikTok statewide. So yeah, I know that's a lot of topics, but I just want to give y'all a gist of some topics that I was talking about, and then I'm adding some more so I can bring y'all this content, okay? Because I also have another thing that came up. Well, something else has been gathering my attention as well. And yeah, there'll be a video coming out for that as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the content, y'all. Okay, I'm sorry to keep y'all waiting, but the girl has to do what all these things of the things. Okay, so first I want to talk about Shanquella Robinson. First thing first, I want to get her case or her story out there just as much as any other content creator out there that has been sharing her story and keeping our foots on these folks' neck when it comes to getting justice for her. In regards to Shanquella Robinson's family, says it is discouraging that U.S. prosecutors declined to pursue charges in her untimely demise and claims a delay hurt the probe. And here are some key details from the case. All right. So this is coming from insider.com. Okay, yeah. Insider.com. So it reads, U.S. officials declined to pursue charges in the case of 25-year-old woman who had passed away in Mexico in 2022. Her friends reportedly blamed alcohol poisoning, but the autopsy revealed that she had trauma to her neck and spine. And also another key point, her family is seeking justice and answers from the U.S. and Mexican authorities. Here are some key details from the case. So it reads, this month, since 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson passed away during a group trip to San Jose de la Cabo, Mexico last year, less than 24 hours she had arrived. Earlier this week, U.S. officials declined to pursue charges in the case of her untimely demise following a detailed and thorough investigation. Prosecutors, as in every case under consideration for federal prosecution, the government must prove beyond reasonable doubt that a federal crime was committed. The U.S. Attorney's Office for Western District of North Carolina announced on Wednesday, based on the results of the autopsy, that after a careful deliberation and review of the investigative materials by both U.S. Attorney offices, federal prosecutors informed Ms. Robinson's family today that the available evidence does not support a federal prosecution. In other words, insufficient evidence has resolved to the feds closing the case. Prosecutors also noted that they worked with family to conduct an autopsy in the States by the medical examiner's office in Montgomery, North Carolina. The autopsy done by the county officials contradicted a Mexican authorities' report, revealing that her spine was intact and that her cause of untimely demise was undetermined. Okay, let me write that down. So they saying that spine was intact and the cause of deletion is undetermined. Okay, all right, bet. Let's continue on. The family representation, civil rights attorney Ben Crump and attorney Sue Ann Robinson called the decision discouraging and noted that the discrepancies can be credited to the delay of the investigation by the U.S. officials, according to the statement sent to the Insider. Okay, so delay of investigation. Let me write that down. Child, if the internet was able to investigate this quicker than the feds, I don't know what else to tell y'all. However, they hope to receive justice in Mexico. And as you can see here, this is the other attorney, Ms. Ann Robinson, she is not related to the Robinson family, speaking with a representative from ABC News. Okay. Mexican prosecutors have issued the arrest warrants in this case and are willing to pursue charges. In the statement continue, we strongly encourage the United States to move forward with the extradition of those responsible for her deletion to Mexico to face accountability there. Meanwhile, the family attorneys blast the FBI for the delay of Shanquella's case. Both attorneys, Crump and Robinson, who is not related to the family, have previously called out the authorities for the response in her case in comparison to the efforts to put behind the 4 Americans who were kidnapped in Mexico in March. Okay, let me write that down too. Yeah, the 4 Americans KD'd in Mexico in March. Okay, because there was swift action on that one. Okay. There seems to be no activity on behalf of Shanquella, Trump told Yahoo News last month. In addition, they also called for diplomatic intervention by President Biden and the U.S. Department of State, as the insider previously reported. Well, President Biden you see what he's doing right now. He's too busy giving money to other countries, and that's fine and all, but there's still some stuff over here in the homeland that needs to be resolved. But to say the least, Biden don't give a about anyway. Proceed on. There seems to be no activity. Oh, okay, I already said that. My clients recognize that the U.S. government has many priorities and responsibilities, but believe that intervening in this case would not only serve the interests of justice, but also send a clear message that transnational criminal activities will not be tolerated. A letter sent to the White House official said per ABC News. Okay, so you can see Ben Crump sharing a post on his Twitter about him stating that they have sent a letter to the POTUS, President of the United States, and the U.S. Secretary of State, detailing the circumstances around Shanquella Robinson's deletion in Mexico and calling for diplomatic intervention. Inaction is not acceptable, and her family deserves swift justice. And I agree. I totally agree on that one. Okay. Also, Mexican prosecutors have issued an arrest warrant in connection to Shanquella's untimely demise. In November 2022, prosecutors said the warrant was for one of Robinson's friends. First off, they are not friends, okay, because friends don't do that to each other. And 2, it should have been 6 and not 1, okay, when it comes to arrest. But the person has not been identified, according to WBTV. In addition, officials clarified that Robinson's deletion as a result of direct attack, not from an incident, per report. So we got mixed reports on all levels. According to NBC News, prosecutors said they were looking to extradite the suspect to face charges in Mexico. I don't know what was the delay on that one. So there was a delay on extradition. And I did state it in the last video that I did on Shanquella Robinson's update that they can test on approving or denying the extradition of the individual that had the warrant out for extradition. And it looks like they just went on ahead and just wiped it clean. Like, we're not even going to try to test this, all right? According to NBC News, prosecutors said they were looking to extradite the suspect to face charges in Mexico, and they added Robinson's deletion is being investigated as a potential H side, okay? This is H side, y'all, okay? Of suspects. So I gotta write that down too. Okay, Robinson's associates, because we're not gonna call them friends, because in the last video as well that I did, she had a travel bunch, but with the bunch that she traveled with to Mexico, she was unfamiliar with basically all except for probably 1 or 2 people. So, okay, so she had a travel bunch. Okay, Robinson's family blames Robinson's associates blamed the passing on alcohol poisoning, her mother had said. Okay, it says Robinson, the owner of hair braiding business Exquisite Babies, traveled to Mexico with her friends for a birthday celebration in late 2022. During the vacation, to the group reportedly stated that luxury villa they booked through CaboVillas.com. Local news reported that Robinson's family called her mother, Salamandra Robinson, and informed her that something had happened to her daughter. They said that she was feeling well. She had alcohol poisoning, Salamandra told WJZY. They couldn't get a pulse, which one of the people was with her telling different stories. So that not only mixed stories to tell mother. And to add to that, y'all actually went to the mother herself in person and acted as though that y'all were grieving over her passing, but at the back of your mind, you was like, yeah, we got her. We finally got her. And that is trifling and eerie at its finest. Continuing on, but an autopsy later revealed that Robinson's spine was cracked and she had a broken neck. The group of friends traveled back to the U.S. while Robinson's body was held there for about 2 weeks. So the body was held for 2 weeks. According to the report, a Cabo Villa representative told Insider that they are saddened about the incident and said that they are working with local authorities. The team at Cabo Villas had been in full cooperation with local emergency and public safety authorities regarding to the incident from initial contact for assistance onward. The representative said that we are working diligently to determine the facts surrounding this incident, which is currently being investigated as an isolated criminal matter that happened involving guests at a private villa located in Los Cabos. The FBI announced last year that they were investigating the case. FBI Charlotte Division said November 2020 that they launched an investigation into the matter. The FBI Charlotte field office had opened an investigation in the passing of Charlotte resident Shanquella Robinson in San Lucias, Mexico on or about October 29, 2022, a spokesperson told Insider at the time, due to ongoing investigation, we have no further comment. A U.S. Department spokesperson told Insider at the time that when a U.S. citizen passes away overseas, they provide all appropriate consular assistance to the family. And I don't believe they did that when it came to Shanquella. Adding that they have no other comment at the time. Now, Shanquella's father confirmed that his daughter is in a widely circulated video. Gerald Jackson, a local blogger who runs the North Carolina beat, released a graphic video of a woman attacking an unclothed woman. Robinson's father, Bernard Robinson, confirmed that the Daily Beast that his daughter is the woman being attacked in the 18-second video that had gone viral. In the video, a person would be heard saying, "Quilla, can you at least fight back?" The video set social media ablaze with thousands calling for justice for the Robinson family. Even celebrities weighed in. For them to beat that girl like that and tell her to fight is just disgusting. Just broke my heart. This is why I put the phone down for days at a time. Tears. Hashtag Shanquella Robinson. This is from K. Michelle. They attacked her, Bernard Robinson told TMZ in November. They put a hole in my heart. That was my only child. I'm heartbroken. I can't even be a granddaddy. I can't walk her down the aisle. I can't hear her voice. He continued, they left her in that house. They left her there for the maid to find her. Do you know how much pain my daughter suffered? I just want justice. WSOC TV reported that the State Attorney General's Office of Baja California said there is an ongoing investigation that they are collecting evidence related to the case. Now, in regards to this paragraph here of a hole was put into the daddy's heart, this is just, in my opinion, dealing with the loss of a loved one is important to keep your heart afloat, because it is possible to pass away from a broken heart, okay? Because that's what happened to Stephen Smith's father when Stephen Smith passed away unexpectedly in that Sandy Road in South Carolina, okay? That he passed away with a broken heart. It caused havoc within the family when someone that that is within the family unit passes away unexpectedly. I mean, even if the passing is expected, it really hits harder when it comes to the person passing away unexpectedly. I just want to put that out there because that's just my opinion. That's my observation. After and everyone has went through a part of grieving that they really had to pull themselves out of and taking one day at a time because of a sudden passing. Okay. Also, let's see, did I read this portion? Yes, I did. All right, so Robinson's funeral was held in North Carolina. The Robinson family created a GoFundMe in November 2022, which was nearly reached to its goal of $400,000, raising more than $400,000 as of April 15th. Kyrie Irving previously donated $65,000 to the fundraiser. We face a tremendous unexpected financial burden and a great deal of pain as we prepare to lay my sister to rest, the Robinson sister, Quilla Long, wrote in description. Now, I know people have a lot of questions. Why is it $400 when a simple funeral, a modest funeral, is about $7,000 to $10,000? Well, you got to look at it as, well, they did have to transport her back to the U.S. Okay. And it already is an arm and a leg to transport somebody from state to state when they pass away to bury them, to bury them. With her being in a transnational or beyond the borders, it's going to double that cost, okay? Then plus you got to get attorney fees and stuff like that. The right people to represent the family so they can get justice for the individual, and that can be a costly matter as well. And then if you really want to send off the person in an extraordinary way, which it rightfully for this situation, because she didn't deserve to go out like this in this capacity. I'm pretty sure the funeral was about a good probably $20,000. I'm just gonna guesstimate on that. Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of funding that comes into play, and it can get costly whenever you're burying somebody. So that, to say the least. Other than that, Robin's funeral was held in Charlotte, and hundreds of people were in attendance to pay their respects. Okay, so as you can see, this image here, her favorite colors were pink and yellow, so that's why I do the thumbnails in her favorite color, to keep raising awareness and also stick out from the others that are posting videos, and of course to honor her, okay, as well. All right, so let me stop sharing my screen here, because now I'm gonna give y'all my thoughts. Okay, first things first, Shanquella, according to previous articles and previous videos that I did with Shanquella Robinson, is that Shanquella had a travel bunch already, okay, that she is well acquainted with and she travels with frequently. With this type of bunch, she only knew probably at least one or two people out of the bunch. All right, so to say the least, there were no friends up in this group. And I even have to question her best friend as well, because he could have intervened and stopped the fight, but he didn't. So he's not in my book, he's not a friend to her. Okay, simple as that. All right. Secondly is the mixed stories of telling the mother that she passed away from alcohol poisoning, she passed away from this, she passed away from that. And on top of them going to her house and consoling her and trying to recount the details of what happened. If that ain't evil, I don't know what to tell y'all about that. That is evil at its finest, okay? So that should tell you there, all skin folk is not kin folk, all right? With whether it's associates, friends, as well as family. You have to use that spiritual discernment eye right here to determine who is for you and who is not for you. In this case, in Shanquella's circumstances, They went for her from the jump. All right. Also, what we have recapped from here is that the spine, one report saying the spine was intact, another report saying that the spine was not. And then from other YouTubers that I was watching, hold on, y'all, sorry. And from what other YouTubers that I was watching as well, one of them had a autopsy report that it was written on, and I'm like, you hardly write on an autopsy report unless you are at the top of the page, unless you are basically drawing out the bumps, the bruises on her body. So I thought that was alarming as well, and that's what led to the cause of deletion being undetermined, because all these mixed reports that was given not only to the mother but also to the public as well, and the officials from the start, that the case was not going to be taken seriously. Okay. Also, with Ben Crump coming into the picture, it makes it a sticky situation a little bit, because we see him constantly dealing with the injustices of cases like this, with dealing with Black people in general, melanated people in general. However, it does bring attention when he does come around, all right, to say the least. Also, the delay in investigation, that is a red flag at its finest. Okay, how y'all going to delay an investigation when the incident that happened with the 4 people that got kidnapped in Mexico in March, that went into swift action within a couple of days or within a week? I'll give it 2 weeks time span. But at the same time, with Shanquella incident happening months prior to that, that is being left basically unsolved at this point. And that way, and therefore it led to the feds closing the case. Well, I'm here to say this. Out of all the technology that is formulating day in and day out, with AI tracking the vehicle, going to the phone records, whether they're deleted or not, going to the social media's account, all that can be restored. And y'all mean to tell me that y'all couldn't find nothing? Y'all were able to solve an Alex Murdaugh case based on the evidence that was provided, okay? And then y'all went a little bit further and tracked the vehicle and how many mileages it took for him to go to his parents' house and come back to the house to find his 2 loved ones already expired. And then at the same time, also with Stephen Smith as well, his family had just reburied his body after Alex Murdaugh and them are Alex Murdaugh is in jail, because now that he's in jail, things are unfolding literally day in and day out on his case, because they've been covering up things for so long. And now the family has a private investigator to where they can do a private autopsy and actually get down to the root of what really happened to Stephen Smith as well. And you mean to tell me that y'all are not able to find sufficient evidence for Miss Shanquella Robinson with all this technology? Y'all even solved 30, 40, 50-year unsolved cases with the latest technology out here, okay? And y'all mean to tell me y'all can't solve that? And on top of that, I'm gonna give y'all something else that reminds me of this situation here, that it seems like the case went cold as well. Okay, let me share my screen again, and let me tell you what case this reminds me as well, besides George Floyd. Okay, this case reminds me of this woman's circumstances, this young lady's circumstances, with the Army promising a thorough investigation after a soldier's deletion in Germany. And her name was PFC Denisha Montgomery, and she was 27 years old. Okay, so let me read y'all this article here. So the passing of the soldier assigned to Germany is being probed by the Army criminal investigators after she was found unresponsive in her barrack room August 9th. So this happened way before Shanquella Robinson. And her case, I believe it's flatlined as well. According to a press release from the U.S. Army in Africa, yes, PFC Denisha Montgomery, who is 27 years old, was pronounced deleted at the scene after she was found by her roommate on Lucius Clay Caserne. Montgomery, who was assigned to the 139th Military Police Academy, was slated to return home in September. We are saddened by the loss of PFC Montgomery. Our thoughts with her family and loved ones during this difficult time. The press release said Army officials stated that a complete, thorough investigation will be conducted after claims of foul play spread following a Facebook post made by Montgomery's aunt, Michelle Lynn Espinosa. We take any and all accusations regarding to this incident seriously and requested everyone refrain from posting unsustained information to social media platforms. All verified information will be distributed by U.S. Army Europe and Africa Public Affairs, the press release stated. Espinosa did not respond to a request for further information made by Army Times, and this is the image of Miss Denisha Montgomery, okay? According to Espinosa's Facebook post, Montgomery was attacked 2 weeks ago by 3 fellow soldiers, one of them who was allegedly her roommate. Are you kidding me? This is what Shanquella's case reminds me of. The post goes on to allege that 3 soldiers were in a car with Montgomery when they took her phone away from her and then beat her. Miraculously, she escaped that situation, documented what happened, but for even more unknown reason, she wanted to wait for her to get back to the U.S., which is Fort Stewart, before she filed a full report. Espinosa wrote, Monday morning, they found my niece unresponsive in the barracks in her bed. Suffocation by this woman in a million years would never delete herself, Espinosa added. A GoFundMe page, which also alleged foul play, was started to support Montgomery's family and pay for a private investigation to her untimely demise. The family plans to have a full investigation of her suspicious deletion beyond the inquiry by the CID fundraiser creator Crystal Dye wrote. We have to act and act now, so we need help raising money to pay for the investigation. The family appreciate your help and prayers, and any way you can help us to get justice for PFC Montgomery. Dye also did not immediately return a request for comment from Army Times made Monday morning. It's not clear from the GoFundMe page that Dye's relationship is to Montgomery. Montgomery leaves behind a husband and 3 children, according to the page. So Shanquella's situation reminds me of her situation, Miss Denisha Montgomery. Why? Because she was attacked and she later was found unresponsive, and they're gonna claim S side when it comes to her cause of deletion. So you see where the patterns lie, okay? And from this, and from Miss Denisha's case, well, her untimely demise, it happened in August 9th, okay? It happened in August. And you see what happened to her case. And now we have Shanquella Robinson. And you see how they're doing their case now. And the call for Ben Crump and as well as the family and other activists and Miss Attorney Robinson as well, calling for Biden and the Secretary of State. Y'all might as well include Kamala Harris up in that thing. But you see the tongue that you have to pull to get their attention, right? He too busy making sneaky link trips to the other nations over here. Okay. Then of course in the article it said, I said not friends, right? Because they only had an arrest warrant for one person when it should have been all 6 of them, because they were the accomplice to the crime, right? And on top of that, y'all basically tampered with evidence on top of that. And then y'all fled the country, okay? And then with the mixed reports after they left, with the autopsy, with them telling the family members what happened, and the delay of the expedition, well, they basically denied at this point, but the delay of the expedition of the suspect as well. Get out of here, y'all. Y'all are able to solve worldly crimes, and y'all can't even solve this little crime here. I'm done, okay? I'm not done, but y'all pick and choose who y'all want to solve cases for, okay? And this is why it's giving a side eye. Everybody's giving a side eye to the U.S. and a side eye to Mexico as well, okay? And girl, and I know it's not everybody in Mexico's fault, and I know it's not everybody in the U.S.'s fault, but this right here, if this don't wake y'all up right now and see where the matters lie with us and them folks, y'all better get into it, okay? But I'm going to cut it off here before I give y'all some more, bring y'all some more logic up in this thing, okay? So I can get to the other videos, all right? But feel free to leave y'all comments down in the comment section below, and continue to raise your voice in regards to Miss Shanquella Robinson, all right? Because she needs justice just as much as everybody else needs justice, all right? But other than that, and justice for Shanquella. May her soul continue to rest in peace. And also, I'm sending nothing but love, strength, and healing to the family, all right?